Hey guys, my name is Lindy. I'm an American that's been living in France for over 5 years now, and it's been a minute since I've done like a sit-down video, and recently I've just been thinking about this topic. So if you've been following me for a few years now, you know I currently live in a small town in France. I've done a couple of videos on this topic, so if you're interested in that and what it's like living in a French small town, feel free to check those out. But some advantages being like the cost of living is lower, you get the calm of the countryside and lots of nature. However, today I want to share some of the challenges too of living in a French small town. Lack of variety. So we'll start with one that might be a bit obvious, but living in a smaller town, you have less options. So for example, if you want to go to a cafe, you have like 1 to 3 choices. And even with that, the variety they offer just like isn't comparable to a city. You could get like a coffee, maybe a cappuccino, but if you want like a fancy drink of like a café glacé, iced coffee, or a bubble tea or whatever, it's just like not available. I know like when I worked at a cafe here, I wanted to add like a mocha and a bubble tea to the menu. Clients were like, what is that? But they ended up enjoying them. But yeah, it's just like the choices are much more limited. Same goes for food choices, anything international like Thai food, Indian, Greek, whatever it is. It's just not really a thing here yet. You might have like one Chinese restaurant and then like an Italian French mix restaurant, but that's about it. So if you want those types of foods, you rather have to make it yourself or go to a bigger city. Same goes for entertainment. Let's say you have like a day off and you want to do something. You might have a movie theater in your town, like music venues, golf, bowling, comedy shows, like any form of entertainment. The options are just much more limited. I know our town has a performing arts center and they'll have like a show or invite someone to come every other month, but if you're not interested, you have to then wait another month for something good to come, so it's just a bit limited. I know when I have time off, I'll rather spend some time in nature or most likely travel to a different city to have some more options. So let's say you decide to get some Chinese food for dinner or grab a coffee from a cafe, and these stories are from experience, but it's Monday or Tuesday and they're closed. So bakeries, restaurants, stores are definitely closed on Sundays and Mondays, and sometimes even Tuesdays. Part of that is because it is a smaller town, there's just less demand, but even in bigger cities, things are often closed on Sunday and Monday, but just, yeah, much more noticeable in a smaller town. So less options for friends. I've been lucky enough to make a few friends in my town, however, it is quite hard to not only find friends, but one, like people you truly connect with, two, like share passions and hobbies, and then are also your age. And it really just comes down to the population is smaller, therefore there's just less chance of finding your people. So less trains and access for travel. As for someone who's very passionate about travel, a perk is having a lower cost of living, which is great, but for actually traveling, it can be a little bit difficult. Transport isn't as frequent in smaller towns, so rather you have to get up early to catch a train or bus to get to a bigger city, and then from there you have more access to transportation to get to where you actually want to go. So this last one, less employment opportunities, might be obvious, but I have a caveat to add to it. So yes, there is less opportunities for jobs in small towns. However, I would add, because it's a small town and you know people, I think like natural networking happens because people have known you since you were little, or in my case, for a few years. I think when an opportunity becomes available, your community or friends let you know or will vouch for you. So that's why I say it's a mixed answer. So now before I wrap up this video, like I mentioned at the start, there are still lots of positives to living in a small town, like the cost of living being much cheaper, And when you are able to find friends you connect with, it makes living there so much better. I've also noticed what an emphasis I put on like the simple pleasures in life, like a nice sunset or barbecue with friends, or like seeing cows grazing in the pastures, or like drawing by the river, things like that. And if you love the countryside, you have access to beautiful nature spots and seeing animals. So yeah, that is definitely a big plus. So let me know, are you more city or countryside? Or maybe has your view changed as you've grown up, like where you want to live? Let me know below in the comments. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hope you soup. And I have a question. Send you. Where the cows are at, and I was really excited to film with them. So I'm gonna have them be right here. I think I found them. There they are.